Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building. King Pusha T.
What's
Welcome.
up? What's up? What's up?
Album is out right now. It's almost dry.
Yes.
Man, a lot to talk about. Lot to talk about.
And
Yeah.
there's so much activity around you right now.
It is. Let's get into it.
Well, first, how does it feel to have your album out right now?
Man, it's I feel very competitive. Feel very competitive. It feels really good just to be back in the mix, in the music mix. I spent the whole pandemic creating this album. And I felt like I had like time, and I had time with whether it be Pharrell or with Ye, I had like actual time to like sit and cook with them with with just like no pressure. And just to we finally here, and it feels very it's strong.
Yes.
It's strong outside right
Yes.
now.
Who challenges you more when it comes to your lyrics and discussing like different songs? Is it Kanye or Pharrell?
By far Pharrell.
I know it's Pharrell.
By far Pharrell, man. It's like, Kanye is basically he just likes like Pusha T raps. And he just wants like 1,000 bars and just like give it to him. And he wants to shape that into what he wants to shape it to, edit it how he wants to edit it. Pharrell is like, he all musical and like he wants you to like, make the melody, the verse, the cadence. He wants all of this to like sort of coincide, the formula, the bridge, the beat chorus. It just got to be a whole. He's always like shooting for the stars.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's tough. It's really tough working with him. But I think we make magic
What
when we
works
go through
better
the process.
What process works better for you think?
Oh no, I think they both work really well, and I think people are gonna see that on It's Almost Dry. Pharrell's is tougher. Pharrell's is a tougher process for
Do
sure.
y'all ever get mad at each other?
What?
Yeah, they argue all the
Oh
time.
my God.
My
The
goodness.
arguments is crazy. The frustration be crazy. It's a very tedious
And Pharrell on back down.
process. Yeah, like it's a thing, and he's like a very stubborn guy in the studio. So he's like, he hammers away at an idea, and I be over it. And then I'll finally like find something that I actually like in what he's doing, and then he'll be like, "Oh, okay, you like that?" So then he strips away everything I don't like, and then he starts from there. But you got to go through that process to get the magic.
Now with the street rap, right? So
Yeah.
of course, 90s, 2000s, street rap was big, Hove and all that.
Yep.
Do you ever feel like you have to prove yourself because people don't necessarily understand it or get it?
I think I don't know. I feel like street rap just never dies. I feel like it just comes in like different forms. I feel like rap is street. First and foremost, this is like the cornerstone of rap. Street rap is what birthed this whole thing. But I don't feel like I got to prove myself. I feel like my challenge to myself is just staying competitive and being able to put myself up against what else is like new, popular, younger, and be able to, give people the opportunity to sort of A and B, what they like.
Because I had to think about it, right? Because a lot of rappers lie in their music, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if I didn't know,
Lying's a thing.
if I didn't know Pusha T, would
Right.
I believe it? You know what I mean? And that's some of the things I have to think about sometimes
Yeah.
because somebody might not know Pusha T, right?
Right.
But since I went to school in Virginia and I known you from
Right.
Virginia, I see a different side of this, right?
Right.
But where some people could say, oh, he's just rapping, and then some people would be like, no, he's really from there and really
Right.
did that. So do you feel like you have to make sure that people think it's authentic?
I'm sort of off being like the realest guy in the room. I've been in this like 20 years now. Everybody has seen like my trials and tribulations. Everybody's seen everything I done went through, label wise, street wise. Just as far as just all the pitfalls and the downfalls I done been through. For me right now, man, rap is like I'm trying to show people like the creative, the fully creative side of this. I want to be the Martin Scorsese of street rap. I want to be that guy. I want everybody to come to me for that particular thing. Nobody asked Martin Scorsese to make Gone with the Wind. They want gangster films.
Correct.
That Gone with the Wind would be crazy if you did a remake.
Right.
Now, Hove, you got Hove a couple verses. Some artists
Yes.
only get Hove one time.
I know.
Some artists never get Hove.
Hove know what's up, man.
What's your relationship with Hove, and how do you continue to get Hove on your records?
Man, I think me and Hove got a very we got a good relationship. I think it's very respectful musically. I think he understands that when I call him, I'm not just asking him for anything. I'm asking him for something that I think is gonna be something like, that's gonna benefit both of us, and just in a creative sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I send him the record, I send him my record, I send it to him with the hook on it, with the verse on it, and just see what he think. If he like it, then he be like, man, what you want me to do with this? I'll be like, man, just outdo me, like, because I only reach out to him when I feel like it's something else that I can't say on a record, but I feel like the record needs to like step up to another level. And in dealing with him, like, it's just stuff I can't say what he say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like only he can say that type of stuff.
I saw $1 million worth of Game. I think you said you had 3 songs
Yeah.
with Jay. So
Yeah.
how many made the album? Just one?
No. 3 songs collectively I've
I
been
thought
on
you meant- okay.
throughout
Together,
history.
yep.
Yeah, so one song made the album, that's Neck and Wrist, produced by Pharrell. The other song we was on together was So Appalled, and that was
Right.
on my Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. And then I had another record called Drug Dealers Anonymous that was like just a Lucy.
Now, how do you decide what record you're going to put on the album from Kanye and Pharrell? Because they're both very creative. I mean, both
Yeah.
very competitive, right?
Yeah.
Pharrell is competitive, Ye is competitive. So
Yeah.
how do you decide what songs make it and what songs don't?
Well, I sort of, in working with them this time, I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a 12-song album, and 6 from you and 6 from you. And I just sort of kept it in that 12 box and took the best 6 from each of them.
Got you.
And
So that way there's no problems, no feelings or nothing.
No. And it was good. It was, I mean, me personally, like what I was personally doing was like having like my own versus battle between both of them, because I would like go to Miami, I work with Pharrell, I take that to LA, be like, oh, look what me and P did. He'd be like, what? Hold on. All right, hold on.
Gotcha.
It was like a big back and forth.
Now, did you see the interview we did with Coi Leray?
Yeah.
The conversation.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts about
Man,
that?
I love that girl, man. Yeah, I like her. I like her. She's just real like charismatic, and I actually like her songs.
It's funny that your name just kept coming.
I know,
She
like,
kept-
I was like, yo, what I do?
You were like the bar.
Finished your record with Hove. So
Oh, okay.
we've been playing it every hour, so we were excited about it. And she was like, why are y'all so excited about this? And I'm here. We was like, because this is our era. This is what we listen to.
Okay.
And that's where it came from.
All right. Nah, man. It was, I seen it, but yeah, I like her, man. I like her. She a firecracker.
Now,
And you
got your
care a
brother-
lot. You care a lot of working with younger and up and coming artists. You have a
Yeah.
label really
Yeah.
that's for that in Virginia.
Yeah, Airwave Music Group, and it's just it's just something that's like near and dear to my heart, because I feel like Virginia is just one of them places that never sort of built their own chitlin circuit. Like Envy was down there, like he knows that the influx of people that just came from New York, it was like we just sort of were adopted to the New York, just that New York trail musically. So we never really built out our own chitlin circuit. So for me, Airwave Music Group is that's what it's for, like to build out the chitlin circuit, build out the whole infrastructure so that the artists from around there can like, be noticed. You know what I'm saying? They can understand what it's like to like, have fans before they really on. Like somebody in Memphis or Atlanta.
Because I look at music, no matter what age somebody is, if I like a song, I like a song.
Yep.
Right? Do you find it that with the younger artists it's not as relatable? Because I've heard people say that too. Like, I can't understand this. It's not for me. And that's kind of what that conversation was about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like, for me, man, rap, you got to be like culturally out here. It ain't just about, lyrics, bars, so on and so forth. You got to like, it's a whole culture. It's fashion. It's just the energy of knowing what's what and being in tune to what's what. And I feel like when you put that in your lyrics and when you put that in your raps, that's sort of relatable to everybody. Now, maybe some, maybe some of the younger kids don't take that time, but I feel like, when they're passive listening or whatever, it hits everybody sooner or later.
Now, I see your brother is on the album.
Yeah.
Now, you got him back in the studio. You got him back working. Well, first of all, how did you get him back in the studio?
Okay.
And 2, does that mean that we're going to get a Clips album, maybe?
So listen.
Possibly.
This is the play,
Hopefully.
right? This is the play. So first, it started with the Nigo album. Victor Records, Stephen Victor, my manager, he put out an album with Nigo, and it was that was an easy ask because it was like I was like, man, it's Nigo. We sort of started this Bape thing with him, and he putting out an album. Like, yo, we gotta do a song for the album.
Right.
So I just talked that up. Boom. He was like, oh, yeah, for sure. So then I came back to him. I was like, yo, it's the last record on my album. Like, I need you to, give me a verse. And he was like, I mean, all right, man. Like, I still get to pull like the little brother card, like just ask for things and expect to like get them, and like I get to like look at them like, I mean, yeah, I just asked for it, and you sort of got to do it. So he did it. He did the record. But he's definitely looking at me like sideways, like, yo, you think you're gonna keep asking me for these little features before you know what I'm saying?
They sounded good. They sounded good.
Those are clip songs.
Those are clip songs. Yeah.
But so is his head in a good spot where maybe it's possible?
I feel like these last two offerings, and I feel like the response is definitely. I talked to him this morning. He was like, yo, I'm hearing what people saying, B. I'm hearing everybody's saying, but he not committing.
What if he was like, you got to change up your content and then I'll do it?
No, he would never do that. My brother would never do that.
Kind of like when I think about how Q-Tip was on that Mobb Deep song, right? What song? What was the name of that song where they're talking about? From their first album, the second album, the Mobb
Queens
Deep,
get the money long.
Yeah.
That
so when Q-Tip, he did his own thing though, like the way Mobb Deep was rapping about things, but then Q-Tip came on and did things from his perspective, but it still kind of flowed together.
Yeah.
No,
I think me and my brother honestly could make, regardless of whatever perspective he wants to attack it from, I feel like me and him are creative enough to definitely make it work. Like I'm not, that's not an issue. It's just him.
Yeah.
It's like, what do he want to do?
Now I was gonna ask you. You're big on loyalty, right?
Yeah.
You're big on crew.
Yeah.
So I want to go back a little bit.
Okay.
Here we go.
So when Ye and Drake was beefing, and of course you jumped into the beef, right?
Right.
Then they squashed the beef.
Right.
Where does that leave you?
Oh man, I'm still outside.
I'm outside.
But how did that make you feel? That's your man beefing, and then they squash it, and now you still outside.
I'm
beefing.
still outside. It's for me, I think that was really good for them. I think that they both, like, there's something weird with them two that, like, the coexisting of both of them together is just, like, really, I don't know, it's something that they just have to have. Me personally, I don't really stand anything to gain from, like, squashing anything or whatever. I mean, I'm not entertaining it, but I'm not. There's nothing I want from the situation. Like, I don't want to do a record. I don't want to do none of that.
So where does that put you? So like when they do the show in LA or they together, do you say, you know what, I'm not gonna come to the show?
Oh, definitely. I'm like, bro. Like he was like, yo, you gotta come. I was like, nah.
That would be weird.
I think you should go to the show and have a good time.
You should be there.
Yeah, like you have a good time. But I don't. It's just not a. It's just not a thing that for me that I'm just really entertaining. I ain't entertaining.
You're not
it
aggressively going after him, but you're not trying to squash it.
No. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care to squash anything. It's nothing to talk about for me.
Just keep
I feel
it
like
moving.
we've been. Yeah, I feel like we've been through it. We've been through it, and that's just that. And ultimately, everything I'm doing right now is really purposeful, like musically and everything. Like I know who I want to deal with, who I want to work with. I know what this is, and he just don't fall in those lines. So it doesn't. We don't have to do this.
If he says something about you, like people are saying the song that leaked with Jack Harlow, he's taking shots at you. Do you let it slide or do you respond?
Man, you know what? I think, like, I even heard that. And it sounds old to me. Like the flows sound old. Like it don't sound like, and then it's like even what is considered like the shots is like, bro, after what I've done, like the middleman talk and all that type of talk, that's not scathing for me. Like I'm here to like burn down everything.
So it's more like a subliminal.
Yeah, it's like and it's subliminal. It's like, bro, I'm not subliminal with nobody today. Like I'm not doing that.
So you ignore it or do you?
Yeah. I told I don't. I mean, I honestly feel like, and from the sound of it, it just sounded old to me.
Gotcha.
Like it's not like fresh.
Now, as a lyricist, do you always keep something in the chamber just in case?
as a lyricist, I got a file of just fire for whatever.
Now, is that for different artists as well?
That's for everything. That's for the world. That's a file cabinet full of death. For sure.
Oh
just in case.
No, for sure.
Now, I was also going to ask, I've seen it with you do it with Stephen Victor.
Yeah.
I mean, you've done it to me a couple of times. Sometimes when you feel like you can reach out and ask or put your hand on somebody if they're doing something wrong and speak to them, you do it. Mm-hmm. Have you had those conversations with Ye when sometimes Ye was not acting like himself?
Me and Kanye's relationship is real. It's a real honest one. Mm-hmm. So I feel like when he's like on whatever he's on, mm-hmm. like me and him disagree a lot, like a whole lot. But even the other day, he told me, he said, like we had a long conversation, and he was like, man, he hit me back after. He said, yo, when I talk to you, I get to look outside of myself. And I think that's what I'm like, that's how I look at myself, like what I can bring to him. Cause I'm like, when it comes to like the inner circle, I'm the newest guy, in all honesty. Mm-hmm. Like he been with everybody for 20 plus years. Like, as you can see in that Genius doc, you see all of those guys. Mm-hmm. Like, I only came around in 2010.
Right.
But I feel like with that being the case, I speak with another level of just honesty and a whole nother just, purpose and intent. Like he got his crew, we all crew, but I have a real team myself of 20-year people that are fully outside of him that, when we ain't rocking, like I'm still busy over here too. Mm-hmm. So I think that allows for me to like really just, him to understand that what I'm saying is coming from a real like, yo, this is just how I see you. That like I'm not out on the outside looking in, and this is what I'm gonna tell you.
Do you think he respects your opinion more because sometimes when you have the closest people to you, they eat off of you.
Yeah.
So sometimes they might not be as honest as they should because they eat off of you. Where it doesn't matter if Ye don't do a beat for you or nothing. You can go wherever you need to go. You already established. Does he feel like maybe he looks at you different because of that?
I 1,000% know he understands that, like, I'm speaking from the purest place. It's not a level of, it's nothing that, bro, I put out an album every 3 years, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, so outside of music, what is it? What is the real game?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not, there's no ulterior motive. I think he understands that with me.
And this is your last Def Jam album.
Yeah.
So how does that feel?
Yo, I didn't really think about it until like just recently. There's like all this like negotiation stuff is coming up, and
are they trying to get you to sign back?
Of course.
Or,
yeah.
Are you thinking about it?
Yeah, I mean, Def Jam has been a really good partner. Mm-hmm. Like really, really good partner. I'm sure Steven is figuring out ways to tweak the contracts however he wants to. Mm-hmm. Steven's greedy. He's real greedy.
That's good. That's what you need.
No, for sure. He's a shark. But they've been a really good partner, and yeah, it's crazy to even hear it, because man, you go in these albums and you're just doing this music and you love it. You're so passionate about it. Like, I don't even really be thinking about the back, the back, just the business of it so much. I feel like, man, this is what I'm gonna do anyway. So
would you put your imprint on Def Jam?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
For sure, man. Shout out Tunji, man. Tunji, like, he knew over there.
New president.
He fresh.
Now, you posted a picture of some release papers, and everybody thought that you were released off of Def Jam and going independent.
Oh, right.
So that was, you said Kanye giving you back your master.
Or good music, really.
Yeah.
So you fully have your own masters and everything.
Yeah, for sure. All the profits.
How did that happen? What was that conversation like? Did you ask him, or did he just...
Or was it legal?
No, it was legal. Yeah, it was legal. We man, it actually started from an argument.
Really?
Yeah, because it was one of those times where Ye was going through what he was going through, and he had remember all the text message stuff and all of that, and I was on the text message.
I was gonna ask you, did that bother you? Like, when you text about any problem,
I'm just at home with my daughter.
Like, who is this? Who are all these people?
Right.
But just in that argument, some things were said. And I was like, okay, well, if you feel like that, then this is how we need to finish that. We need to finesse that. So after the argument was over, I was like, oh, no, we still got to do this.
Right.
Like, this still got to stay. And it stayed. You know, man of his word.
How many times do you argue with Ye? How many arguments do you argue?
Nah, it's not. Nah, we listen. We don't.
Did y'all ever have to move furniture one time? Be like, let's just move this furniture one
I
time.
can't see
Let's
that.
wrestle and we can be friends. Y'all ever had to do that one? Because you have a brother, I'm sure you did it with your brother.
Yeah,
You ever did
yeah.
it with Ye one time? Like, let's move this furniture.
Nah. It's never gotten that bad because I feel like the disagreements. It's not just like anybody just talking out of spite. It's like, yo, he really feel this way, or I really feel that way. You know what I'm saying? And it's like he understands that like this is my real stance. Like even, I mean, if you just think even politically, y'all know I was at the Obama joint. I was, going for Hillary and all that. He going for Trump. But, even in that, he understood I had a real agenda with what I was trying to do. And with that agenda, it had to be what I wanted it to be. And, Trump ended up winning, so that was, for his agenda. But ultimately, he understood. It's not just me, like, going against him or me, like, going in the public or going on radio, like, down talking him for his stance. It's like, no, we got a difference of opinion, but this is why. And he gets that.
Now, even with Kid Cudi being on your album, did he have a problem with that? Because he's not messing with Kid.
Man,
so was that a comment? What was that
It
conversation
felt more like Kid Cudi's not messing with Ye.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're
Cudi.
not messing with each other, it seems like.
No. Cudi not messing with Ye.
Yeah, I think it's more
Who
that.
produced that beat?
Yo, that's the only beat on the album that Pharrell and Kanye collaborated on.
Damn.
So the beat started with Ye, and he chopped the 1+1 sample with Beyonce. Shout out Beyonce, she cleared it. And then
Did she make you clean anything up before?
Nah, she didn't actually. So then after that, Ye was like, yo man, tell Pharrell to put his drums on it. He couldn't really find the drums that he felt for it. Then Pharrell put the drums on it. And I remember this so crazy because I remember the day so well. Like the energy was so good in the studio. We was in like some art space. He had just built out this little art space, and I came over there. He started working on the record, and then Cudi just happened to pop through. He was happy. I hadn't seen Cudi in a while. This particular day was just really, really good. And Cudi gave like probably 3, 4, 5 different versions of what the hook should be or whatever the case may be, and just let us pick through them, and we just put it all together. So it's like, now, fast forward, Cudi like, man, I'm only doing this song for you.
Yeah.
You my man, I can't stand him. I'm like, bruh, like, don't do this right now. Listen, I seen a video director last night who's supposed to shoot the video. He was like, man, we was ready, everything just blew up right before. But that's what happens. Like that happens in the Kanye world. Like everything could be going smooth and then just bah.
Right. Y'all were all supposed to go on tour together too, right?
And hell yeah.
And Nas.
Listen,
Was it?
I don't know about the Nas piece. I don't know about the Nas piece, but Ye been talking about everybody going on the road this whole time. Because we usually make our albums simultaneously. So like while he was doing his Donda thing, I was making this album too. He was, of course, further along, it comes out, boom, then it's my turn, boom. And the whole play was like, after we do this, then we gonna go. Cudi, he had joints in the chamber for Cudi too. I don't know how it plays out.
Do you ever feel like Ye does not move like a billionaire? Like, does he ever look like you're a billion? Like, sometimes I look at him and he's on
No, because
American Airlines flight.
Elon Musk does the same type of thing.
He's just on a long line. He's walking out the club, no security. He's the one that's swinging on.
That's very true. That's very true. And I'd be like, man, you got to make this look a lot more fun than like what it is, bro. Like, what you doing? Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me.
It's the weirdest thing I've seen. And what did you think about the Grammys banning Kanye?
I didn't like that. I thought that was corny. And I thought that was corny, and I thought that it just wasn't, I don't think you ever get, you can't let what somebody's going through or whatever like hinder the business. And ultimately the Grammys called back. You know what I'm saying? But I think it was a little too late by that time. Like, yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's not That's not good for the creativity.
And the last couple of years, you had a lot of ups and downs. You had a baby. Congratulations on the baby.
That's an up.
You
Yeah.
got married a couple of years ago. Congratulations on
yes.
that. And also, your pops recently passed, so condolences.
Yeah.
So how has that all affected this album?
Oh man, yo, both my parents passed away within the past 4 months. So it's I think it's made for a lot more focus.
I know you were happy your son got to see.
Yeah,
grandma,
for
grandpa.
sure. That was
Yeah.
like a really big thing to me. But it's made for a lot more focus, and just focusing on the family as well as is keeping just keeping my head down and grinding with the music as well.
Does that keep you and your brother closer? A little more
Oh
closer?
yeah, I mean we already
Pretty
been
close,
close. Like we talk every single morning, I think for sure it has definitely brought me and my brother, I guess I would say even more closer. But it's just good. It's good to know that I have a brother that like I can really like lean on. Like, I'm the youngest. So it's like he's always been that person, and even in these later years, it's like he's still the crutch. He's still my crutch.
Got you.
Now, having a baby during a pandemic, right?
Yes,
You're
was
used
crazy.
to being at home
Was crazy.
all the
What?
time.
What?
And seeing your baby every day.
Bruh.
But then you got to go on tour. So how hard is that going to be? You going to bring the baby
Well-
with you, or?
Well, my son will be 2 in June. So for sure, I mean, that whole time, we weren't moving. That's the whole past 2 years, we haven't been moving until
And what a great
now.
time to be home.
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
way,
So that
too.
was like
And
really,
he just
really
purchased a new
good.
house. They just installed
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
pool.
It was
Yeah.
really perfect timing for you.
It was
You at the crib chilling.
Yeah, no, chilling. So now now it is that time. It's like, man, I'm looking at it and I'm like, damn, I gotta leave. I'm asking for my schedule every 5 minutes just to see what days I'm gonna be home, because you get to miss so much. Even now, like, yesterday my son singing Itsy Bitsy Spider. I didn't know he could do that. I missed that. Boom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And luckily, we got the nanny. She videotaping everything. It's cool. It works.
I was gonna say you started fast food beef.
Yes, I did.
That
Oh
was
my
the first
gosh.
time I've
Yes.
seen. That was the first time I've seen that.
And you know what? That's a real beef. That's what I like about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like you really have beef. With, no pun intended.
Yeah, it's not a real
It's
beef.
real beef. 'Cause
Yeah,
I never knew until the beef that
The
you
jingle
wrote.
story.
Da, 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 da.
yeah. No, listen. That's
Like,
what people.
I didn't know you wrote that jingle.
Yeah, so that happened like super early in our career. We wrote raps for the "I'm Loving It" jingle today, and that's where the catchphrase "I'm loving it" came from. So boom, that happens.
You must never eat
We gotta
McDonald's,
pay. I'm not eating it.
I can never eat McDonald's. Like, I know
Not
that's
even the
my
fries when
jingle,
they're hot?
and
Fries are
everybody
crack,
sings
too.
it.
I'm not gonna lie.
No, but and it wasn't at the time, man. Like I said, I was like 20 at the time. I was like, man, this is great. Me and my brother just getting in the game, and then you realize how long that jingle has ran. The "I'm loving it." You realize that, and then, boom. Later on down the line, I did a record with Skrillex, and the Arby's used a piece of that record. I owned 40% of that record. So I had just been in business with Arby's like every few months getting checks for the commercial. That was like their theme music right before it'd be like, we got the meats, or whatever.
Yeah.
Boom. So, man, just thinking about the money from that and the money that I took a one payout on when I was 20, I was like, damn, this is crazy.
How much did they pay you back then to do that McDonald's jingle?
Man, it was somewhere between $500,000 and $1 million for me and my brother. So shout out Steve Stout. He brought, hey Steve, I'm not ungrateful.
Man, at 20, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
He got you that deal.
Yeah, he got me that deal. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Shout out Steve Stout.
And they probably didn't know it was going to be used for
No,
so long.
probably not, but it
Goodness
was.
Yeah,
gracious.
yeah,
but
it
That
was.
millions
Yeah.
yearly. You know how much
Yeah.
they be hearing? Goodness gracious.
Yeah, but so then Arby's knowing the history of that, I do like discussions and panels and stuff, and people always ask me like, damn, like what is some of your regrets? And I tell them like, man, I took a payout for something from McDonald's years ago at 20. And I think Arby's caught wind of that, and they were like, man, we got this big fish that we about to drop. And I know, this is now we already in business together. They put together the whole play for me.
That
And I
is
was
really like a beef. That's really them tapping in.
Tapping into the culture,
That's
being
dope.
like, yo, and they was, and it was, they just felt like the whole thing was just synonymous with what I had going on too at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
That's perfect.
yeah, they was like, yo, this is.
Who was
this
the
is
executive there that even?
Listen.
I'm curious. Who's?
Listen, he's a. I didn't meet him. Steven just met him like just recently, but I'm hearing he's like looked at as a genius
Right.
for like how this is played out. He
Sounds
and
like
it was
an 80-year-old white guy.
no,
that loves hip-hop.
and it was something that he had to fight for. They like nixed the idea first. And then he
Wow.
like went back like, listen, y'all not understanding. I'm telling you.
I
you
know
gotta
they
do
love.
this."
I hope they gave him a promotion.
Absolutely.
Because
I
I'm
hope so,
telling you,
man.
that's why it's so important who's in these positions
Right.
at these
Absolutely.
corporations
Right.
that can make these decisions. Because a lot of times people try to be part of the culture, but they don't
Right.
do it right.
Right.
And the way that they did that was like, okay,
It
very
was
clever.
seamless. It was seamless. It was clever. It was synonymous with like just all brands involved. It just made sense.
Now, what was your biggest regret besides the McDonald's thing? What was your biggest regret in this industry?
Man, I think my biggest regret outside of McDonald's, it would have been just the frequency of me engaging with my fans musically. I came up in a time where I lived with albums for 2 and 3 years. You know what I'm saying? I listened to like Aquemini, and I listened to The Infamous, and I listened to these records for years. And I took that energy with me into the game. I feel like now if I just would have been more consistent yearly with music, the language, it wouldn't be such a fight with the language that I'm, putting out now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like people have to like, people would be like really accustomed to the Pusha T lingo.
Got you.
You know
think
what
you
I'm
get the
saying?
respect you deserve in this industry?
For sure. I definitely do. I think artists respect me. I think, people who know if you like cool and you hip, then you know what's up.
Now, I saw you said that Nas was supposed to be on Hear Me Clearly.
Yes, man.
What happened?
I don't know, man. I have no clue.
What you
man.
mean? Did he do the verse?
No, I guess he didn't.
Oh.
But he agreed to it, and then he went ghost.
So I, truthfully, I gave him the record a long time ago, right? And then I seen him, I kept following up, whatever. I felt like it was gonna happen, but, it got a little quiet. So I was like, all right, cool. And then I saw him at Cote, this Korean barbecue steakhouse type thing. And man, he was like, yo, what's up? Boom. We chopping it up. I went and sat down at my table. He bought me like thousands of dollars worth of Wagyu. It was like a table. It was like a table of 8 of us, and he just sent like a tray of Wagyu over. And when we talked about the song, he was like, oh, I'm gonna knock this out, boom, boom, and snap. And I was like, all right, cool, boom, boom. And it just didn't happen. Like it just didn't happen. And I wanted him to be like, the record again was on Nigo's album for Hear Me Clearly. I was putting it on my album, but Nas was gonna be the surprise on my album for the you know what I'm saying? That's how I was gonna play it. And cause they had to like beg me that was my record. So that
record's hard.
Yeah, like they had to like beg me for the record. I was
I think I hit push it like 4 in the morning.
Yeah,
I'm like, I got
did.
I'm like, this
You
record's
did.
hard.
He was like, what is this?
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get this to you. I was like, but
I'm going to put it on my album,
I'm gonna
too.
put it on my album, and then I'm gonna get Nas on it. I know he gonna crush it. That's gonna be like the thing. And it just didn't happen.
How
I
many
wish it
times have
did.
you done that to somebody though? They ask you for a verse, and then you forget, or life happens. You on tour, you just had a baby.
No, I don't think it happens too much. I try not to, if I
Say you're going to do something.
yeah, I try to do it.
Some
I
artists
try
are
to
like
do
that,
it.
and you have to be super patient. Because I work with Jay Electronica.
Yeah,
And I know that like
yeah.
he'll have every intention of doing
Yeah.
something. Because we've been waiting for him to do something now for like a year. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, are you going to do this? And they do intend to do it.
Yeah.
But some people just work really differently.
people definitely like. I know what it is. Like, man, I got stuff that I got to do right this second, and I've been like, just putting it off and like, yo, I gotta do this record. I seen a dude announce his album yesterday. I'm like, oh God, I really gotta do this record. So it's like, I understand. Like,
so why'd
I
you
get
push
it.
your album up?
Man.
Since you just brought it up and you said you see people talking.
I sort of felt like the energy around the album, I didn't want to keep it, I didn't want to drag it out.
I think you should have came out last week.
Right?
With the hypeness of the whole song that I thought was dope and everybody talking about the Negro album. I thought it should have came out last week.
Yeah.
I think waiting hurts now.
Well, the only issue with last week is I didn't have my merch bundle.
Got you.
It's all of that type of stuff that like sort of gets in the way. I had clearance issues. So as soon as I got the clearance done, as soon as I got the thing on, I was like, okay,
let's go.
Let's move it up.
What took a while to clear?
I think Uzi, Don Toliver, and Cudi.
Okay.
Of course.
Cudi.
Yeah, Cudi.
Did
He's
you
like,
have to
I'ma
call
let
Cudi?
you
had to call
do-
Cudi for that clearance?
Yeah. I
You
called
had
him.
to
I
go
was like, Cudi, what's up? And he was like, no, bro, I'm telling you, bro, I'm gonna do it, bro. We gonna clear this. You know I rock with you. But you know what's going on right now.
But don't rock with me.
Now, I remember at one point you had invested in a streaming service too. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's going on with that?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how this one is playing
Some
out.
investments do well.
Some investments do well. They turn, they
Yeah.
turn around. But other ones, we have to wait and see.
Okay.
We have to wait and see.
What about other investments that you've done that have worked out that you?
Oh man. I like to, I got different things going on. Like I've owned a store for like 10 years now. It's on its third location. It's in Philly. It's called Cream, and it's like a streetwear store. It's I don't even want to call it street.
It ain't in Virginia no more?
It's in
you
it's in
got
Virginia.
Virginia too?
Yeah. We got 2 locations in Virginia, and 1 in Philly, and that's been really good for me as well. I also got a business that I actually really love, man. It's medical transportation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so like we got like through the Hampton Roads area, it's about 20-30 vans that just run, elderly and older people and people with like illnesses around the city. And it's something my man came home from jail and he put me on to it, and it was it's been really like lucrative and like fulfilling actually.
Yeah, that's the best thing when you can do something that you can
it's
make
like
money from that helps people.
it's really dope. It's really dope. Like it actually, my mom had like kidney issues, so like the service would like pick her up some days. I had like cousins and things that it would always really proved to be very helpful. But so I really care about that a lot.
Funny you said that. I'm doing something like that now because my wife's mother had dementia, and we would have to take care of her.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that the city and the state actually pays family members to take care of her instead of getting outside help.
Right.
They'll pay you because they say you do it anyway, and they'll give you money for it, so you can get a salary from helping your mother, your grandmother, your grandfather.
Wow.
So we starting a business like that where we're helping people get that money, that salary to help their loved ones.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I mean, anybody would do it for free, but the fact that you can not have to go to work and just concentrate on your mother, there's nobody gonna concentrate on your mother more than you.
Listen,
more than
trust
you know
me.
what I mean?
Like I mean, honestly, my before my mom passed, there was like nurses. She had nurses. My sister's paralyzed. My mom was like my mom got a nurse taking care of my sister. She got a nurse. You know what I'm saying?
How did your sister get paralyzed?
Like a stroke, something. It is, and it's not even a stroke. It's something. It was something in the brain with the blood vessels expanding, or
Like an aneurysm?
But it wasn't.
Okay.
It's a proper term, but all of those terms are very close.
Right.
But yeah, so it's been a lot. Like it's been a lot, but again, like everything seems to be working itself out and playing out in a really good way.
Yeah, I think it's amazing when you can make money that can actually go toward helping people too.
Yeah.
Like you have your nonprofit.
Yeah.
Third Strike coming home.
Yeah,
You do that too?
the Three Strikes Project.
Okay, so
Yeah.
talk to me about that.
Well, that was something I got involved with during that whole Obama thing and trying to get people home, from the drug laws and stuff. Damn, I'm drawing a blank. My Angel. And,
Okay.
Yeah. So My Angel, and it was.
She's been up here before.
She has,
Yeah.
I'm sure. And also, I think you guys had Tony Lewis up here.
Oh,
Did
yeah,
y'all?
you guys did.
Yeah, okay. So, just something like, man, just trying to get people home. Just trying to get folks home and trying to make sure that, like, they get home, they get their footing right, and they really get a head start.
For all the
A
people
jump
that,
start.
that you know that got locked up for weed.
For weed?
Weed and
I
marijuana.
don't know too many guys for weed.
No.
What weed?
Okay.
But,
the reason I was just saying, 'cause now they give
No.
dispensaries
I get it.
people
I
that
get it.
actually have been, affected by drug laws.
Right.
So I was just curious if you ever thought about, maybe open a dispensary in Virginia, well, that's a Commonwealth state, but open a dispensary because we all know people that's been affected by, marijuana, selling weed and all that.
Yeah.
Maybe those drugs are a little harder.
No. Yeah, let's just talk about weed. So listen, I'm actually part owner of a dispensary as well in Maryland called Remedy. The laws and everything surrounding those type of ventures are very tough, very tough. So I think it's a dope thing that when they try to incorporate people who've been affected, who've been affected by like unfair laws and so on and so forth, and bring them in.
That's what it is. Well, Pusha, the album is out right now. It's almost dry. I got to thank Pusha, too. A lot of you don't know that me and Pusha, we knew each other from when I was in college. And he used to come with me all the time to all the clubs, make sure I was safe. And
Did you see any of the crazy things he used to do? Because I read his book.
He was there. Pusha was,
Yeah.
You don't understand. When it was one time, I was
was
DJing,
there.
and they was throwing chairs and tables at me and Pusha.
For sure.
Was it because of envy? It had to
No,
be.
probably because of us, and we hid behind him.
Yeah.
But
But when I did my first car show, I called Pusha and I was like, I'm doing my car show, and he was like, come get he had a Ferrari. He was like, come get the Ferrari, and I came and got the Ferrari, and then when I delivered it, we dropped it by accident. We cracked it a little bit.
Wow.
Did you?
No, then they had to go fix it.
Wait a minute.
The front of it.
They probably did. I don't know.
The front of
Wow.
it. But he wasn't mad about that.
That's a
Nah,
nice
man.
friend.
It's just a car.
It's just the car.
It's just a car.
Did you call Envy when you heard all the news about like his book and how his wife couldn't orgasm, just to
No.
reassure him?
No.
Now I gotta explain it.
No,
So
bro,
this-
come on.
this-
I can't. I don't. Just don't.
All right, you right.
Don't.
Pusha T.
Thank you.
The album is out right now. It's almost
Yo,
dry.
he
What's wrong with
is
you,
wild.
man? What song you want to get in the Push?
We gotta get into. We in New York City. We gotta get into Neck and Wrist.
Neck and Wrist featuring Hove.
Yes.
Get the album today. Stream it. It's the
Yes.
Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Let's